Welcome to the BRIDGEGOOD 100 ChangeMakers video for those that are interested in becoming a changemaker. This is presented by Waste Management and the Oakland Recycles team. My name is Sean Ty. I'm the co-founder and executive director of BRIDGEGOOD. I'm really proud to be a founding member of the 100 ChangeMakers Environmental Leadership Program. This program explores the intersection of sustainability with BRIDGEGOOD's mission and work to develop Oakland-based zero waste champions for the environment. And really, what is the goal? You're going to learn that today. What's the goal of this program? You're going to learn about waste and climate change, or at least an introduction to it, recycling and composting, as well as some great free resources, BRIDGEGOOD as a change maker, and most important, how you, yes you, can take part. So what exactly is the 100 ChangeMaker program? Well, the goal is to educate our community, that includes you watching, about how choices we make related to waste do impact the environment, as well as recruiting change makers like yourself in Oakland. This presentation was created from the team over at Oakland Recycles, shout them out, as well as updated from the design team here at BRIDGEGOOD. Oakland Recycles launched 100 change makers in spring 2022. Again, I was fortunate enough to be one of the founding members. And a recap of the topics covered in the program we'll be covering today. BRIDGEGOOD was very excited to be part of the first cohort. And I would say the most valuable lesson that we learned from this program is that not all waste is garbage. Let me repeat that. Not all waste is garbage, and not all waste is the same, right? So why is managing waste important? That's a question you're probably asking yourself. And what are we throwing out? Here's two graphs. These graphs and numbers pulled directly from the EPA, that's the United States Environmental Protection Agency. We want to note the correlation between waste generation and production plastics. If we look at the graph on the left, we produce a significant amount of waste each year. 300 million tons of it. It's insane, right? And most of that waste goes directly into the landfill. Note that combustion is banned in Alameda County. If we look at the right graph, we can see a correlation with the left one, right? The production of plastics has grown over the years, and the graph stops in 2015. So just think of that plastics produced during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's pretty drastic, actually. So we throw out a significant amount of materials that can be diverted from the landfills, right? And what goes into them? Well, this pie chart shows the type of material that was found in a landfill from 2018. The highlighted sections are materials that could have potentially been diverted. It's mostly food waste, plastics, paper, metal, and glass. Most of this material could have been composted or recycled. And that's why this is so important to discuss and talk about and create change makers like yourself. In terms of diversion of valuable materials, recycling and composting is one of the easiest ways to fight climate change and, of course, create a more sustainable future. Now, managing your waste, it really revolves around the 5 R's as well as the 3 E's. So the 5 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, rot. Recycling and rot, which is the same as composting, is at the very bottom of the efforts to manage your waste, and the first 3 are vital to managing your waste from the start. The 3 E's: environment, economy, and equity. Equity, so important. This is why it's so important to become a change maker, right? Is thinking about how do we refuse unnecessary packaging? How do we reduce harmful products? How do we reuse items instead of buying new? I think we're all guilty of that, right? Recycling paper and cans and composting food scraps. You should become a change maker if you care about these things. Things that we'll be discussing: circular economy, ensuring that resource cycles are closed, learning principles of sustainability for social, economic, environmental pillars, right? Now, combating climate change, pretty straightforward. Recycling, right? It uses less energy, it reduces CO2 emissions. Composting reduces methane emissions, 25 times more potent than CO2. Once again, become a change maker to dive deeper into this and learn more. So what changes can you make? Ultimately, that's what we're here to learn. Make the most sustainable choices, right? The choices you make, the choices we make as a community matter. Make your first choice reusable materials over single-use materials. Some materials are more sustainable than others, of course. Think about aluminum as an example. I had no idea, but aluminum can be recycled indefinitely. What that means is, the single-use plastics, terrible. Aluminum, much better. Aluminum takes 95% less energy to process, and around 75% of all aluminum that was produced, it is still in use. So 3/4 of aluminum produced back in the day is still being used today. Now, hopping into the single-use plastics, refuse those, right? Plastic water bottles, they're not recyclable. They're consumed at the rate of 1 million per minute. That's just mind-boggling, right? Waste personified. So refuse single-use plastics, always choose reusable, and again, become a change maker to learn more and to be a part of the solution. Now, learning about what's recyclable in Oakland is super important. There are 4 main types of recyclable material in Oakland. Paper products, right? That includes clean paper, keyword clean paper, and cardboard. Paper has the advantage of coming from renewable, right? Resources like trees. That's very important. Paper degrades in quality each time it's recycled. So eventually paper ends up as an EOL, end-of-life product, like toilet paper, paper towels, or paper napkins. Once it reaches this point, it cannot be recycled again into new paper products. But we can compost it unless it's toilet paper flushed, right? So glass food and beverage containers, great. Glass bottles, glass jars, indefinitely recyclable, super good. Metal food and beverage containers, aluminum and steel cans, infinitely recyclable and easy to collect. And again, plastic containers, you can recycle those, bottles, jars, jugs, and tubs. Okay, so those are the things in Oakland that are recyclable. I know for me, recycling can be confusing. Not every time that you see a triangle means that it can be recyclable. Different materials are recycled in different places based on local recycling systems and resources. If you think about the triangle symbol, think about numbers 1, 2, and 5. Those are the plastics that you can recycle. Again, if you want to get even deeper, please become a change maker, which I will share contact info at the end of this presentation for you to be a part of this next cohort, which I highly recommend you do, for sure. Learn the process in Oakland. It's very important that each county has something different. All materials get mixed together in one cart or bin, so it makes it easy for people to participate. It's separated at a facility called a MRF, a Material Recovery Facility, which separates based on physical characteristics. If you're interested in this process, again, become a change maker to learn more to help you and others be more informed on recycling practices. Really interesting to learn and understand resources lost to landfills. Landfills are the third largest emitter of methane in the state of California. That means more than 20% of what is thrown out in the trash is compostable material. This type of material that makes compost, it goes into the landfill. We cannot recover these resources, and it also, more deadly, contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Learning what is compostable, again, food scraps, food soiled paper, paper towels, napkins, cardboard, plant debris. These are all compostable. And composting is closing the loop. How does organic waste turn into compost? It's a mixture of time, biology, and chemistry. We return nutrients to the soil by composting organic waste. Compost returns to us through a few ways: Oakland city beautification projects, landscaping and farms, city and school gardens. Again, super exciting. If you're interested in composting to close the loop, become a change maker. Stay tuned. At the end, you're gonna have all that info to sign up. And I'm actually gonna give you a direct connection, not just the link. So stay tuned. Your actions make a difference. Resource recovery starts with you. Using the recycle and compost cart, they're the easiest, most accessible ways to be more sustainable every day. Use them correctly, use them consistently, use them collectively to make a difference. Resource recovery starts with you when you begin to sort your waste, which I know we all can get better at doing. So mission alignment's interesting. You know, when people saw that BRIDGEGOOD was partnering with Waste Management and Oakland Recycles, they were confused why. And honestly, it's perfect in alignment with our mission. BRIDGEGOOD's mission is to provide equitable tech access, design opportunities, and professional resources to job seekers. We want to give this access and opportunity to those that are trying to be a more sustainable community as well. So some sustainable solutions that we've implemented into our operations at BRIDGEGOOD include opting for more sustainable office products, going fully paperless, replacing plastic with aluminum. We actually got sponsored by a company called Liquid Death to go from plastic bottles that we thought were good for germs and for cleanliness to more aluminum, which is, that we learned, infinitely recyclable. And shout out to Liquid Death for providing those to our student apprentices for the UX design program. Adding compost bins that we just ordered through Oakland Recycles, fully pro bono, donated at no cost to BRIDGEGOOD. That's something that we ordered and should be receiving shortly. We also picked up clear signage for the students at the Waste Management headquarters. And then we also encourage green commuting. So again, even though we are an employment job training organization, we have many things in alignment with this program. Here's an example, some real life photos from the studio of the stickers now being clearly labeled trash versus recycle, with the compost bins on the way. And those are not beer cans, those are water cans, Liquid Death. So shout out to Liquid Death. And then the right image is a photo of bins in the Port of Oakland trash area that is recycling as well as compost. So shout out to Port of Oakland for implementing green practices as well. But through this program, we were able to level up, be more sustainable, more green, throw things away with more thought and meaning and purpose. So shout out to the team at WM and Oakland Recycles. Some free resources, Oakland Recycles. You can get compost kitchen pails, recycling caddy bags, brochures and signs like the one that I just showed you now at BRIDGEGOOD Design Studio. If you are interested in those, you can request those resources. Send an email to recycling@oaklandca.gov. That's recycling@oaklandca.gov. Or you can call 510-238-7283. That's 510-238-7283. Or you can go to the website OAKLANDRecycles.com, which is a great resource as well. Lots of tips, tricks, and advice. How do you get involved? Right? That's the key thing is I was not knowledgeable in any of these subjects that we just covered. But through this program, I definitely have been leveled up for sure. Be a change maker. That's the first step. Attending 4 weekly classes over a month, so it's not a huge commitment, right? You'll learn to discuss principles of sustainability. You're going to learn more in depth why and how we divert materials from the landfill. You're going to take what you learn to your workplace, to family members at home, and even to your neighborhood and community, while educating those that may not have this resource. And you will also be responsible for recruiting 2 new change makers, which in turn will create 100 change makers. The first step is attend. Week 1, identify your why, right? Introductions to sustainability. Week 2 is about the life cycle of a water bottle, climate change, and yourself. Week 3 is about the anatomy of a MRF, a materials recovery facility, and the anatomy of a compost pile. Lastly, week 4 is on environmental leadership and the presentation you will give. And read through this, take time to go ahead and really understand that through these 4 weeks, you will become a change maker. You will understand sustainability more. You will understand the life cycle of a water bottle, anatomy of a MRF, and really become a leader with environmental issues. Step 2 is spread the word. And that's really important. That's what I'm doing here is after completing this cohort of classes, you will be a change maker and able to lead community engagement to spread the word about not just the importance of waste sorting, but also sustainability in Oakland and beyond, because a lot of these principles go beyond just Oakland. Engagement opportunities, super fun, giving a presentation, pushing yourself to open up and be more of a communicator, hosting action days, posting on social media. If you go to twitter.com/BRIDGEGOOD, BRIDGE good, you will notice that we have shared a lot of these resources through our Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. So just go ahead and Google BRIDGEGOOD and see what we've been posting. And lastly, you're going to be a waste champion for community engagement. You're going to use these tools. You're going to obtain these skills to present with a deck, which is a presentation. You're going to get some swag, a t-shirt. You're going to get collateral like door hangers and brochures. You're going to be able to post this on social media, right? And then you're going to also have a toolkit for community action days. Super important, super fun, spreading the word. Third step, recruit new change makers. We are here currently at 10, right? I was one of the first 10 change makers. Cohort 1 took place in spring 2022. You will then be part of the 30 change makers, which is cohort 2, summer 2022. And then last but not least, 60 for fall 2022, where you will recruit at least 2 individuals for that cohort. Super exciting, recruiting new change makers. So you want to be involved? You too can be a change maker. Contact Cameron Martin, who's part of recycling education at Waste Management. Call her 510-330-3264, 510-330-3264, or email direct. There's the email there. Thank you for listening. Take a screenshot of this, utilize it, become a 100 change maker, and we too can be connected. So much BRIDGEGOOD community respect, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Appreciate it. Thank you.